In June, when you go out to the garage sales, all kinds of great stuff happens. The streets are lined with community sales.
Games have arisen from the stars.
Look at these games!
I never found so much.
What are you?
Legend to G-Sailors. Treasure for gamers. It's out there.
Is this your first June? Are you making sure to go out every weekend, hitting up all the sales? All the neighborhood sales, all the park sales, all the community sales, whatever they are? You know, you might be getting a little tired by now. And a seasoned pro like me goes out every weekend and not bothered by the least going to 100 houses in a row, asking people with a vase in their driveway and a chair to see if they have any video games, especially the old ones.
Do you know if you have like any like video game stuff maybe?
No, remote control on both.
Persistence, okay? And it's a numbers game, folks. Stick with it. You're gonna have those days where you're gonna have downs, but then you're gonna have days where you have some really good ups. So keep a good attitude, and eventually you'll find something you really like. Speaking of good attitude, one of the things I hate the most is Friday sales, because, well, like most people, I got things to do in my week. All right, I really don't want to have to request time, plan for time. Just make the time to go to these sales. That someone decides that, I don't know, people work in the week, folks. We got things to do.
Do you know how much you wanted for the
Diego, ¿cuánto quieres? Dice.
Do you know how much you wanted for the Game Boy games?
You can get $5.
So there was a small street that had, I don't know, probably 8 houses or so on it that were holding sales. And, I was hoping for a bit more, but I found 2 Game Boy games. Pokemon Puzzle Challenge, probably like Tetris, I guess. And actually, a semi-rare-ish. God, this isn't even a Nintendo case. This is some sort of knockoff brand. What a joke. But yeah, here we go. Focus on this. Harvest Moon 2, Game Boy Color game. You don't find... That's a decent find there.
Do you have like any of the mails or the boxes or anything?
What?
Do you have any of the mails or in the boxes, like the instructions or anything?
Focus. Alright. The kid, I thought for a second he didn't understand English because I was asking for mails and boxes. I've really gotten into the habit of that. Or at least I'm trying to, for even Game Boy and DS games, which you might suspect that a lot of kids throw out. But I've had some luck in the past. And so I was asking him, do you have any of the mails or boxes for these games?
Anything like that?
If you want to have a bag to put in, I have a bag.
And he's looking at me like this blank stare, like he doesn't understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. I'm doing it in a kind of jovial, off-the-cuff fashion.
Do you have like any of the mails or like the boxes for the games or anything?
I'm clearly understandable.
I don't have instructions for the game.
Okay. So how much did you say for the Game Boy game? Like just one, or like if I wanted just one of the...
$2.50.
$2.50. Could I get 2 for $4?
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I don't know what this kid's comprehension level was. Eventually he said he didn't have them. So, yeah. Anyways, I think I've said it already. I spent $2-3 and the time to go to a Friday sale.
Do you have any like DS stuff?
DS.
No. Or like do you have any, like I play even older stuff too, like older PlayStation or Game Boy or N64, or, like the cartridge kind of games,
Yeah.
Sega.
Yeah. Sorry.
Would you take 3 for Half-Life?
3?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
¿Cuánto fue? Son 3.
How much were you thinking of selling the games?
All
Like-
of them for 20.
For 20? Do you have maybe cases or manuals?
For the game?
Yeah, yeah.
Which ones are they again?
They're for DS, the DS. Thank you. Sorry about that. Seven for the 3. Thank you.
So overall, I'm gonna just get straight to the point here. I didn't find much on Saturday, which is unusual for June, I should say. But I wanted to insert 2 clips there just to, I guess, fill up some space. But you know, I found Orange Box. I didn't pay 5. I paid 3 for it. It's actually in pretty good condition. But the next clip I put in there is to illustrate a point, okay? We got Luigi's Mansion in a Smash Brothers case, Pokemon Black 2 in an Alpha Sapphire case.
Do you guys have like any video games?
We are still in a time where you can go to a used game store like GameStop. I don't know about other stores, but
Anne was cool, but she wasn't quite into video games.
and ask them for the cases. They get these things in by the dozen. They are chucking them in the dumpster. 20 years from now, you're not gonna have.
Not even like Atari or Game Boy or anything?
No.
Okay.
You're not gonna have a case for Luigi's Mansion. These things are gonna be really hard to come by. Maybe not Luigi's Mansion.
But I love that you did it on the card, because that's the system I grew up playing. The 5200.
On my way back that day, I got the case, and surprisingly, there's a mail and some other junk in there for Luigi's Mansion. Okay? We can do the whole complete in box ceremony here. Here we go, folks. Complete in box, Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon. The kid was getting rid of all of his physical games. He was playing an iPad or an iPhone.
Yeah,
Centipedes,
it's big
froggers,
black.
Absolutely.
And with the
What about the controllers? What do you do with the controllers?
What did I pay for these? This was just 2 days ago. I think I paid like 5 or 7. You saw it already. You know what I paid. I know. Oh my goodness, they were moving out and I knocked over that furnace. I meant what I paid for these. Who knows? Hopefully that thing's not broken.
Right.
Exactly.
I was killer at Atari.
Well, thank you very much. You too.
But anyways, go to the store, even if you don't have a game, thinking that you want to get a game. I would do that all the time with FuncoLand. There were tons of Game Boy games which I would see the boxes for and go, eventually I'm going to get this game. And that's how I got a lot of my boxes I got a lot of my games used from FuncoLand. I wish I did that for systems that I didn't own, but mostly I did it for Game Boy stuff. So get your boxes and manuals.
Etch-a-sketch.
Earlier in the week, I was having some thoughts before going to bed about the Gradius series. I'm a big fan of shooters, and I never was a fan of Gradius or any of its spin-offs. I guess Nemesis is the only one I can think of right now. Oh no, Paradius is one. That one I think is more just goofy, and so maybe I'm more attracted to it than Gradius. But I never really was a fan of Gradius. The only one I like is 5. And the reason has to be because it's made by Treasure. I don't know if it says it on here. I think it might say it in the manual. But It's made by Treasure, folks that brought you Dynamite Heady. You can look it up on there. I'm gonna put something there. Ikaruga, Bangayo. I'm not reading. Let's think of some other games by Treasure. Put your favorite Treasure game down in the comments section. We can talk about it. They are not credited. What a shame. Special thanks. At least, oh, there it goes. Just a small little, we only get a small little mention of them. Development by Treasure Co. Limited. They don't have the full team credited, unfortunately. There we go. Much better. Much better. I've seen a lot of nice action games coming out from Platinum. I almost think of them as being the new Treasure, though. I wouldn't say that I'm a huge fan of every Platinum game out there, but they seem like they're on the same development path, you know? They're into the same games. Actually, you know, the folks at Treasure used to be part of Konami. You know, they broke off and they started making games for the Sega Genesis, games that weren't licensed. Like a lot of Konami games back then, you know, they made a bunch of Looney Tunes games, or not Looney Tunes, Tiny Toons and Bucky O'Hare, and those guys were getting fed up of kind of doing these games that were money makers for the company. You know, established Konami as a house brand, you know, but they wanted to go off and do crazy stuff like the Gunstar Heroes series, and you know, just really good work. Okay, so just go out and buy Treasure. I don't know, it's a good game. Buy it. Find it. I don't know. Gradius 5. Cut. So that's not really what I'd like to have for my Saturdays, you know? I was really expecting more, especially in June. But, you know, when I feel like this on a Saturday, sometimes I'll check the ads on Sunday to see if there's any sales happening. And, you know, so I did the same this time.
Don't have an extra one of those. Anything else you're looking for?
Like any, like video game stuff maybe?
I just sold a ton of that. What I have left? Actually, like PC video games or?
Well, I mean, I play all types. Like I play newer and older, even Game Boy and Nintendo, and say like the cartridge kinds. And like she said, even Atari.
Let's open this box. Where is my knife?
Where's your baseball video game?
I got rid of all that stuff. Yeah, I had this huge.
Derpy dabba dee 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 poo.
And that's what just sold.
And I sold it on eBay.
Yeah.
And one of them was even this collector's edition.
Pata 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 pon 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 pata pon.
Was it for PS2?
No, it was for this one was for Xbox.
Oh, they were all for 360.
Yeah. And it ended up going on eBay. Like nobody bid on it. Except one guy, he got it for $1. It's like.
Oh yay!
Hold on.
No!
No.
Dive in!
So there's some cartridges there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Pole Position, Miss Pac-Man.
Pac-Man? I didn't know Pac-Man was
And
a
here's
girl.
the old Atari 7800.
I did not know Pac-Man was a girl.
I have the original.
The 2600?
That's how I got into like getting the old games from garage sales.
Yep.
And then I got the one that came after it, the 5200.
Uh-huh.
But every time I find it, it's always broken. So I'm trying to find that one. How much would you want for it?
I don't know what these things go for, man. Are they? I don't know.
10,
How many games are in here? 1,
5.
2, 3, 4.
I feel like it's a
$1
pretty cool,
for each. How about
pretty cool
$1 for each
collector's
video
item.
game?
Would you take maybe like 15?
Yeah.
I was just gonna say 20, so. Hey Don, Would you take 15 for the Atari and the
What
games
about
and
$1
this Pac-Man and all
for
that?
how many things
Or
are
is it
in
too sentimental to get
there?
rid of? I'm totally fine with keeping it if you want
No,
to.
that's fine.
Okay. Cool.
Alright, so clear the table. We got an incoming system and games. We got the 7800 Pro system here, folks. And, you know, I actually had the opportunity to get one of these before for actually the same price, but I passed because I really didn't know much about the system. You know, it's not really appealing to me, the fact that it can play 2600 games. I like how the 2600 kind of looks really different versus like all the other systems. It gives it some character, okay? I do like the design of the 2600 Junior, but I keep that as a backup just in case anything happens. It kind of looks like this actually, but oh yeah, actually, you know, that's a really nice thing about this system. It has the controller ports in the front, so that's a plus. But yeah, anyways, there's one game I know that I'd like to have made for the 7800 called Ninja Golf. I saw a review of that on the Classic Game Room's channel, Classic Game Room channel, and they said it was really, really good. So that's the only one I know about. If there are any exclusives out there, I don't want to know about how Burger Time is better on the 7800 than on the 2600. We all know that already, but I want to know about some games that make the 7800 a worthwhile system to own. Okay. But anyways, this was $15, and before the guy was able to throw me what he wanted for the system, I said, "How would you take 15 for this?" And it was, you know, he said that he was kind of thinking about 20, and he was kind of hinting to his wife that you know, why should we take such a low offer like this? But I don't know if his wife got the hint, or maybe she was just like, you know, screw it, you know, just get rid of it. The last time we played this thing was 10 years ago. Either way, I got it for 15. We got a gem stick here, which probably isn't much of a gem. Are we in focus and recording? Okay, we are. Huh. We got another Atari controller from the school of bad design. I mean, seriously? They never learn. Not even like the Jaguar. I mean, they spent so much time sticking to like crappy design school. I don't know. It just I never liked their controllers. But, you know, I don't have a Lynx, but, you know, that actually is a really good idea. The ability to kind of flip the system depending on your handedness, if you're right-handed or left-handed. Kind of like, and I think the Wonder Swan I know does that, where you can play games vertically. I don't think the Lynx has any games where you do that, but they had some games in the Wonder Swan where you could play like a shooter game, like a vertical shooter game, if you just rotate the system. Probably some homebrew games that are like that. Of course, we got Pac-Man. We got Taito's classic Space Invaders, although this is probably programmed by someone at Atari. These things which never work. We got a coax cable. And I know this works, but God. 30 years, couldn't they have predicted that these things would just be such a pain in the butt to find working? I'm sure there are plenty of these that short out, get chewed off, broken off, whatever. This, you can see the tip there. Kind of reminds me of those plugs for the charging RC car batteries, you know? Are we in focus here? Barnstorming by Activision. Pole position 2. Okay. This game, I actually think I had pole position 2. We had this on DOS, and one of the things that really annoyed me about this game was, I'm sure it's fun. I mean, I want to play this game, but one of the things that really annoyed me was how when your car was blasting down the highway, or track, racetrack, or whatever, if you crash into another car, you know, while your car was smoldering, was a smoldering wreck, they would continue on, like, I don't know, like you were in some bug on the windshield. Miss Pac-Man, it's probably a decent version. Atlantis, probably not Atlantis 2. Though it does have the night scene, so you never know. We got Air Sea Battle. And Frogs and Flies, one of those in television ports. So that, you know, some of you think that 7800 saved the day. In a way it did, you know, going out, actually finding something on a Sunday. But, you know, I expect more for my June. Every week I expect to find more. Anyways, we still got a week to go in June. And this isn't even its final form. There's a huge annual community sale next week. I found some great things there in the past. Don't let week 3 keep us down. This isn't the time to give up. This is June.